Welcome once more to Dhare's Dosage. I'm Dháre, and today we are on day 10 of our Absolutely Authentic series. If you're wondering why the lighting looks a bit different than the other videos, it's because I'm actually recording this in the evening, and so far I've been able to record and speak to you by the light of day. But hey, as long as I get in here and get it out, say a little message, say what I gotta say, all is good, keeping with that consistency. All right, so that being said, I actually knew within an hour of rising this morning what today's topic would actually be about because it actually came through inspiration from a friend of mine. And, I'm just quick little side note. I'm actually very grateful for this friend and that she's one that's in my life because if you've seen any of the other prior videos, you may have heard me allude to the community that I was a part of, that I had to exit stage left from recently because it no longer aligned with who I am and who I'm becoming. But at that time when I joined it 4 years ago, part of that entailed me cutting off a lot of individuals from my life, some that were very dear to me and didn't even really deserve to be cut off. And, I would have my moments of regrets for that at times. But ultimately, I do recognize that whoever is meant to be in our lives, they're going to be there. They're going to find their way to us. We're going to find our way to them. And that relationship is just going to be. So when I reached out to this friend upon returning back to my hometown, I was just very grateful that she had patience and understanding and was gracious with me to, be receptive of my outreach and be able to reconnect again and pick things back up and just continue on our friendship at this next journey of our lives as, young adult women, here 15 years later. Wow, it's been a little more than that. Dang, time is flying. So we've known each other since we were 13 and now here we are 30. So over half our lives officially. So again, I'm very grateful for her graciousness. If you're watching this, you know who you are, to you. But anyway, that being said, let me go ahead and hop into today's topic. So the question that she posed to me, she asked if I had any advice for listening to our inner voice and being able to get in tune with that deeper when we're in a physical place that feels counterproductive to that. So I could very much relate to that. I've been in such spaces and stayed even as recent as this year, and there's been other times in my life where I felt that to be the case. I'm sure many of you can relate, just being somewhere where inside you just want to go and grow and be able to just exercise who you are and who it is that you're aiming to be, but what's around you just feels like, it's draining or pulling you down or just not ideal to that person that you're moving towards, trying to be. All right. So, I didn't want to blow up her feed or blow up her text. So I just, sent her a voice memo back. But in the process, I was thinking, oh, this is definitely going to be a message that someone else out there needs to hear. So I'm definitely going to have to use that as a topic. It came to me for a reason. And let alone, I was very honored. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. Okay, another side note. For this Absolutely Authentic series, I've just been getting from the camera, doing one take. This is like my third take today because I had an alarm go off in the middle of my video. And then I accidentally hit snooze instead of stop. So then it happened again. I just had to take a deep breath and reset. So here we are. So anyhow, back to the question. How is it that we can connect to our inner voice and hear that guidance when our environment feels counterproductive? So on the spot, I thought of a few things and I shared with her and I'm going to share with you. So the very first thing that popped to my mind is the importance of getting out in nature. The importance of getting out in nature, being able to go out. And I'm a flower girl. I love me some flowers. Wherever I am, I'm going to find those beautiful little things to snuff or look at, you know. But being out in nature is one way that I find solace in difficult times, or, well, all the time really, but in difficult times and difficult spaces, it especially proves to be beneficial. Because when you're out in nature, go, for example, where I'm at now, there's a park across the street. It's like a little hidden jewel in the neighborhood. All kinds of beautiful flowers, plant life, trees. It's small but mighty. I very much find myself having a lot of connection there. So when you're out in those spaces of nature, it allows you to kind of take your mind off of that current state and physical space in which you're in, and just kind of expand outward and remind yourself how big this world really is, and just to reorient your focus to realize that, yes, the world is big, but you're also here with a purpose. So in this grand scale, this grand world and space, you've been sent here as one person to carry out a journey. And so sometimes when you're in a physical space that feels, counterproductive to your growth, just being able to take a step outside, in your neighborhood, go on a walk, or if you live near the beach, go to the beach. If you're not near a body of water, I don't know, maybe you're in somewhere that has mountains not too far. Just find your space where you can have access to nature, be out in that fresh air, whether or not the sunshine is out, doesn't matter. The sun even shines through clouds, okay? You're going to be receiving whether or not you're seeing bright yellow light shining down. But it's really important to get out and be in nature and just absorb that frequency and allow it to help situate you, charge you up. So that's the first piece of advice that I dished out. The second thing that I shared, that I will also share with you, is the importance of journaling, be that via the written hand, be that digitally, computer, phone, or be it even verbal journals if you want to bust out that phone, open a voice memo. But what you want to do with journaling is be real with yourself. Don't hold things back, because so often when we're in undesirable circumstances, we just kind of keep it in our head, but we want to be able to get it out, because that outpour and that realness is a release of energy itself. So even that in itself is like I said, it's a release, and it helps you. It helps you just get it out. Be honest with yourself, Don't just let it circle around and drag you down. But then the next step of that process of whether you're journaling by hand, by the written word, or by the spoken word, is you want to start to shift your state away from, okay, this is where I'm at, and start speaking and declaring what it is that you actually desire. So maybe part of that desire, well, obviously part of that desire is getting out of that physical state or space that you're in. So start claiming it, start declaring, I see myself in a spacious place, in this space, and I have this opportunity, I have that opportunity, and I'm clear-minded and clear-headed, and my heart is open. Just start declaring what it is that you desire. And, for me, when I do that, I can literally start to feel it, it starts to charge me up. I start to get a smile on my face, and it starts to feel so real, because we have powers in our words and obviously power in our thoughts. So make yourself put your thoughts on an elevated train, that's going in a direction that you want, not in the opposite direction in which you don't want to be. So that's the simplest way I can put it. And then the third little tidbit that I share with her, and, I know this isn't for everybody, but, again, this is a space for me to be real about myself and what I do. So something I do is utilize crystals. Now, like I said, I know not everybody recognizes the validity of them as tools, but I'm going to break something down to you. Just something real simple about the crystal world. Here's what you got to realize. Like I said, whether you choose to utilize them or work with them, if it's not your thing, it's totally fine. But at least you can have a basic understanding of what people like me, or, what I'm doing when we choose to utilize those nature tools. All right. So what you have to realize is that crystals have taken millions and millions of years to form in this earth. Okay. They literally come from the earth. And so they've been here long before us, and they're going to be here long after us. So when this physical body passes on. So that being said, they hold intelligence within themselves, because everything on this planet, from the people to the plant to the things that are created, the animals, everything holds consciousness, vibration, frequency. So the way that crystals work, crystal healing or crystal other energetic work, is what we're doing is we're looking to align ourselves with the frequency of that particular crystal. So let me give you a super quick concrete example. So before, I've been doing these videos on this 21-day series. On the second day is when I started that, because it just came to me, so I did it and been consistent. So I have what's something called a blue kyanite, just gorgeous light blue rugged stone, about that big. It's kind of pointy and sharp. So I hold that in my left hand and squeeze it, and I place it over my throat, and I do some deep breaths with that. And as I do that, the color blue is associated with the throat chakra. That's why I chose that particular crystal. But what I do is I'm saying in my head, okay, let me speak from a place of truth and clarity. Let me receive clarity of expression. Let me receive truth, because left is the receiving hand. That's why I do that on my left side and hold it here. Let me receive clarity and truth and my words and what it is that I'm going to share when I hit start and start recording. And then in my right hand, I hold a gold tiger's eye. It's actually in the shape of a heart. It's very cute. I hold that in my right hand and hold it kind of above right in between my belly and my heart, my solar plexus area, and I say in my head or out loud, I say, and may what I put out be from my heart and from my soul, and let my words reach, because again, if you've seen another video, the right is a projecting hand. It's that giving. Let my words reach who it is that it's meant to reach, elevate who it is that it's meant to elevate. So I'm utilizing these gifts that this beautiful earth has granted us, or pure power has granted us through the earth of crystals, in a very intentional way. All right, so that's just one small example of how I use them. If that's something that you're interested in, there's tons of books out there, but it is something that if it's a realm that you want to dive into, it is going to entail using a lot of intuition. We can discuss that further. You feel free to reach out to me, by the way, anytime if you'd ever like. Dháre's dosage@gmail.com if you want, further insights or advice about crystal work, crystal healing, and all that, because that is something that I dive heavily into in my personal life. And I don't want this to turn into a whole video about crystals, but I just gave her, and I'm giving you that as another option, as another tool. And I gave you kind of the science behind that when I started off that segment. So just as a quick recap, how is it that you can tune in and really find and be able to listen to your inner voice despite undesirable physical circumstances? And I would also add, it might not even be a physical circumstance. It might just be it might be mental circumstances that are, you feel are hindering you in some way. Just as a 3-way recap, ways to find that ability to tune in and hear that inner voice is: 1, find a way to connect with nature, because that expands your mentality. It calms your physical body. It calms your soul. So get out there, get you some nature in wherever you are, however you can, get that nature in. 2, journal, work it out with that pen, with your keyboard, or with your voice via verbal journal. And then 3, if you're into it, if it calls you, utilize tools that pure power has given us through nature, crystals, or I don't know, maybe trees could be your thing. I love me some trees. They have intelligence and consciousness too. I'm not going to go off on that, but I briefly alluded to a tree that I came to know affectionately as Julia in the last place that I was leaving, that I received a lot of good insight being able to commune with. So, there might be other ways, even other plants, because plants, again, they're living beings. They hold frequency. Find ways to align with that. All right. So good old nature, good old written processing, and then nature's tools, working directly with tools from nature. All right. So that's just a little tidbit advice I would like to dish out today. I know I did. I know I communicated clearly and effectively. I hope that this video serves some purpose or use to you watching. I'm about done with all the sweat. I'm trying so hard to resist just wipe. But alrighty, here we're going to go ahead and conclude there. I'm sending you so much peace. I'm sending you so much power. May you have a wonderful rest of your day or whatever time that you are viewing this. Supreme wellness to you.